Ladies and gents, it's Monday morning and it's time for an alternative paper review. Well guys, it's the beginning of a new week, even though, as it's a bank holiday, it still feels like we're in the last one. Like it's the last one just dragging on. Whether that's through the ripple effects and reverberations of the local elections last week, or the extended weekend's parental responsibility stretching your patience to Spider's Silkian levels. It is indeed Monday, so let's take a look at the direction of travel for this week's news. First up to The Sun, who report on Gary Barlow's mansion being robbed by a smash and grab gang. Wait. Right, so somebody broke into his house, raided it, and came away with all of his valuables? Was it the HMRC? Next up to the Daily Express. Only big tax cuts and growth can save the Tories now. Oh, yay! Yeah, more Tory guys. Because for tax cuts, read public services cuts. For growth, read we've only just escaped recession, guys. For a booming economy, remember the OECD just released their table of G7 economies. Guess who's at the bottom? So yeah, what does this actually mean? Only big tax cuts and growth can save the Tories now. Why is there a picture of a happy and positive Rishi Sunak on the front? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the same reason that they put out that Rishi Sunak, I'll be Prime Minister for years splash. Maybe it's the same reason they rolled with, I'm absolutely confident I will win the next election. Do you remember that one? Because there's literally nothing on this front page in the first 3 paragraphs that describes how they would cut taxes or achieve growth. It's just a load of non-versation about delivering and the plan. And honestly, I think I speak for most of my viewers when I say, listen lads, if last week is the plan that you're focused on delivering, I mean, keep it up. Keep it up. Ironically, I'd vote for more of it. Over to the Eye. Interest rate cuts unlikely before August. Isn't it weird, right, how the cut to interest rates, which will directly or indirectly benefit us all when it does actually happen, isn't it weird how that keeps getting pushed back in line with the predicted general election date? Like, isn't that strange? Like, inflation came down. Do you remember when that happened? And everyone was like, oh, could be a May election, guys. And then they didn't bring the interest rates down because inflation has been so stubborn. And then magically it's like, oh, well, no, I think July seems more realistic for a general election now, doesn't it? And now Sunak's had his arse handed to him in the locals. And there's consequently very little chance now of a summer election. Like, it's probably looking more like, autumn or regrettably January. And now magically, as that GE has been pushed back, now it's like, oh, I don't know if we can bring interest rates down just yet. Probably not until the Tory election campaign. I mean, until September. I mean, call me a Tesco value tin-foil twant, if you must. But doesn't it just kind of seem like they're preparing to drop interest rates and make everybody's life a little bit easier just in time for the Tory campaign to kick off? So that then Rishi Sunak can go out there on a podium and go like, see, I told you, like, the plan is working. It sort of worked, hasn't it? Over to the Mail. Dozens of pro-Gaza activists elected. Oh, no! Oh, can you imagine if we had some democratically elected councillors? I mean, whatever happened to you lost, get over it? Whatever happened to that? But yeah, this is the story that Green Party councillor, Leeds candidate, Mothin Ali, he was elected a councillor on Friday. It's a story that he shouted Allahu Akbar when the results were called in. Now, once you take the translation of that into consideration, which is basically, it's kind of the same as a white, British, possibly Christian person being elected councillor, and then while they're up there, they go, oh, thank Christ. Thank God. Then it sort of seems all right. But because the Mail operate in a world where an Islamist terrorist shouts that, and then this other Muslim man has also shouted it, well then, guys, then you should obviously be worried, shouldn't you? Because what else might these two have in common? Like, this is his profile. He is a horticulturalist. He's part of an anti-racism community housing initiative. He fights antisocial behaviour. He embodies all of the attributes that you might expect from a Green Party candidate. But because he's said the equivalent of like, oh, thank God, or, you know, whatever, then the Mail are like, what if he's, what if he's faking all of that stuff, though? What if all of that well-documented character that you have there, the photos and the interviews and stuff, what if that entire personality isn't real and actually the superficial stereotype rooted in prejudice and factless hate? What if that is actually the truth? You see, that is how you know that this is hate and racism, because they always go running to the assumption, even when the truth is right there for them to see. Then they're like, no, don't, I don't believe that. No. You don't? No. Why not? Just a feeling. A racist feeling? No, a feeling. Based on what, though? Racism. Finally to the Times, who retail out an obvious lie by a lying or deluded Prime Minister. The UK is heading for a hung parliament. It's an obvious lie. This is what it is. I mean, really we should give the credit to The Guardian, who sort of tapped into this story a few months back. Study reveals rats may have power of imagination. Because Rishi Sunak has been telling everyone over the last 48 hours that basically we're heading for a hung parliament. That's what he's saying. That is based, though, on the local election results from Friday being extrapolated out across the general election. The only problem is, those results don't include Scotland, where Labour are currently polling pretty well, and that's following the implosion of the SNP. I mean, the pollsters are basically predicting that Keir Starmer's Labour Party could pick up between 10 and 21 seats in Scotland if the SNP chaos continues, like through to next week, 6 months now, or whatever. If they're unable to turn it around, Labour will probably pick up between 10 and 20 seats. Sunak's modelling accounts for 0 of those. And the Times have just, put this straight out. And you know what I'd like to see? You know, when I see something like this just retailed straight out, you know what I'd like to see? I would like to see Keir Starmer fight fire with fire. Like obvious nonsense as well, with a little bit of sass. You know, like here we have this front page, right? We got the front page. Oh, we're headed for a hung parliament, are we? Okay, cool. And then I'd like to see like LBC or Sky News put a microphone in his face, like, Mr. Starmer, could I borrow you? Rishi Sunak says Labour are heading for a hung parliament. Oh, really? Well, he says I'm headed... I say the Tories are headed for jail. Then, like, grabs the mic off him just to drop it. Like Beth Rigby pokes her mic in. Mr. Sunak says that you're going to be unable to secure a majority. Starmer's like, I'm sorry, we will be unable to secure a majority. Where did Sunak come again? Didn't he come third the other day? Well, yes. Yeah, I suppose so. Grabs the mic off her again, like, let me tell you something, all right? There's a reason Gary Barlow doesn't tell Robbie how to sell out Nebworth, all right? Although that could be mostly because that would be construed as consultative advice and therefore chargeable, and he might subsequently owe the Inland Revenue another £10,000. Oh, for the love of God, not the vase. The vase was my mum's. I love that vase.